Hello everyone, I am Francis, the master of Atomy. Originally, I was part of the working class, going to work and coming home every day. My overtime income was relatively stable, but no matter what, the quality of life and satisfaction from working hard were not ideal. Especially when I see prices and housing costs continuously soaring, I feel a growing sense of crisis. What if one day, due to certain reasons, such as health issues or age, I lose my job? Can I still survive? Can I decide my work income? The answer is no. Or perhaps, if I continue to work hard, can I achieve the dreams I hold in my heart and realize the quality of life I desire? The answer is that I cannot just think this way. I tell myself that I need to take action to change the current situation because I don't want to look back in a few decades and regret my life. I hope that my life is not just about survival, but about living a life of quality. So how can I achieve that? I must establish my own passive income. Only with sufficient passive income can I have the freedom of time, the security of life, and the right to choose my lifestyle. To achieve this, I need to have a good career or a good platform. I once thought about starting my own traditional business, but considering the risks, it is just too great, and the failure rate is also very high, especially during the pandemic. Even if everyone is not in business, I believe everyone understands the hardships of being a traditional business owner. I asked myself if I could really bear this kind of risk, so I gave up the idea of becoming a traditional business owner. So I tried to open an online store to sell products without a physical store, thinking that the risks would be relatively smaller. However, starting an online store also requires a significant investment of money, as well as using strategies for online promotion and advertising. Moreover, it is necessary to handle a lot of administrative work, customer service, logistics, and so on. One could say it's like fighting before seeing the official, and the market is constantly changing with significant competition from peers. It is very difficult to operate successfully and achieve sufficient profits in the long term. Additionally, I have also invested in overseas properties and had hoped to live solely on rental income. However, to have enough rental income to maintain a living, the amount of investment required is also extremely large. Unless you have tens of millions in cash and can buy properties outright without needing a mortgage, relying solely on rental income to live is not a feasible option. While I was working hard to find a truly suitable development opportunity, I was introduced to Atomy by my friend about 2 years ago. At that time, Adam had not yet officially launched the website in Hong Kong. He said that Atomy is a South Korean company with products of absolute quality and absolute prices, and it has an excellent corporate culture. This business has already helped many people around the world and successfully improved many lives. To be honest, at first, I really didn't believe it, because in my past understanding, you get what you pay for. How could there be high-quality products for such a low price, or even for half the price? Additionally, I had heard a lot of news about many other companies and platforms in the market claiming they could help people make a lot of money. In the end, they require members to invest a large sum of money to stock up on products or to invest in some questionable projects, which ultimately leads to losing all their money and even accumulating debt. At that time, I was worried whether Atomy would be one of those types of companies. However, since I really needed an opportunity to develop a new business at that time, I followed my friend's strong recommendation and started to experience Atomy's products. With the first product I tried, being the toothpaste and toothbrush, after using them for a week, at that time I really felt surprised, because all the toothbrushes I had used before would cause bleeding gums while brushing. After using the Atomy toothbrush for about a week, I no longer had issues with bleeding gums. Later, I learned more about the Atomy toothpaste and toothbrush, discovering that the toothbrush actually incorporates antibacterial technology with nanogold powder and is made from safe, non-toxic materials. A toothbrush with a 0.3 mm ultra-fine bristle, along with its gummed and fluoride quality, has international certification, and it surprisingly costs around HKD 8 for a travel-sized version. The natural rubber toothpaste is only about HKD 10. Such high-quality products have solved my dental issues. And with such accessible prices, they truly embody the company's product philosophy. Absolute quality and absolute price. Go beyond customer satisfaction and achieve customer success. This is definitely not just a slogan, but is truly reflected in the quality and price of the products. I also think that daily necessities are something everyone needs to buy. There shouldn't be anyone in the world who doesn't brush their teeth or wash their face, right? This means that anyone in the world could be our potential customer, and the market is limitless. At that time, I began to believe that Atomy is indeed a huge business opportunity. So, I spent a week continuously searching online for more information, learning about Atomy's company background, corporate culture, and videos of the chairman's speeches, etc. After understanding all this, I became even more excited. It turns out that Atomy is not only legal and compliant, but also has an excellent corporate culture. It is a benevolent company that insists on operating in an upright manner. It is absolutely a business that can be operated with peace of mind, and it has zero cost and zero risk, with no membership fees required, no need for group purchases, and no fixed repeat consumption requirements. There will definitely be no financial losses, as the platform sells high-quality, affordable daily necessities. The customer repeat purchase rate is extremely high, with the repurchase rate in South Korea exceeding 90%. Therefore, for operators, the income generated by the business is not just a temporary gain or a way to make quick money, but rather a means to achieve long-term and stable passive income. At the same time, this business is also very meaningful to help many people save money while using quality daily necessities to enhance their lives, making countless families healthier and more beautiful, and even allowing them to have passive income, thereby improving people's sense of happiness and contributing to society. This has always been my pursuit, especially when I saw what Chairman Park Han-kyu said about the super-linked circulation hub. I realized that Atomy is exactly the business opportunity I was looking for, a true stage that can help me and many others achieve our dreams. So, I began to fully commit to running Atomy. Since its establishment in 2009, Atomy has rapidly grown globally over the past 13 years, and the secret lies in its super-connected distribution hub. Let's first understand the two concepts: hub and terminal. In simple terms, suppliers are actually the stores or service providers, while the end users are the consumers. For example, we go to those few large chain supermarkets every month to buy some daily necessities, or we pay our phone bills to those few telecommunication service providers every month. In this case, we are the end consumers, and the end is where the money is spent. It is a side that creates wealth, while those large supermarkets and telecommunications providers are the hubs. They are on the side that receives wealth, being the owners and enjoyers of wealth, while we are just the end consumers. So how can consumers transform from being end users to becoming central figures? Let's take a look at the development of these central figures over the past few decades. In the early days, during the 70s and 80s, the hubs were those small grocery stores, clothing shops, and other small businesses. Their characteristic was that the products were relatively singular, and only a very small number of people could operate them, while it was quite difficult for most people to participate in the management. In that situation, the stores were losing out. Consumers are the end users, and as society continues to develop, the hubs have transformed into chain supermarkets, large shopping malls, and telecommunications companies, among others. With the emergence of the internet, even larger and more advanced hubs have appeared, namely e-commerce shopping platforms. E-commerce platforms sell a wide variety of products, and anyone can register for free. In this year-end period, the e-commerce platform serves as a hub, while consumers remain the end users. Even registering is quite difficult to manage. The real profits are made by the platform. Consumers are still the end users and cannot benefit from this connection. Let's take a look at other hubs, where some hubs have emerged that claim to help customers. These hubs are traditional direct selling companies. In traditional direct selling companies, members generally need to buy a large batch of products that they have never used before to keep in stock. or they may be required to pay a membership fee, or they might be asked to make regular repeat purchases, etc. Some of these products have good quality, but are very expensive, while others may be cheaper, but their quality is hard to guarantee. Are there any key points? If the focus is solely on business opportunities, without emphasizing product quality, the customer repurchase rate will be very low. Customers might buy once and never return. And what is the most ideal method? It should allow consumers to become the hub without any barriers or costs, rather than just being the end users. This means that as consumers, we can also be operators. We can be both end users and central figures in a business model. This is what Atomy's Superlink business model is about. Let's take a closer look at Atomy's Superlink distribution hub. Firstly, Atomy has its own independent brand, and due to the strong collaboration with the South Korean company Kolmar and the original research institute of the South Korean government, the quality of the products created is exceptionally high. The best test of the product's superior quality is the market and the customers. Let me give you an example of a customer I served. There was a female customer who had always used some top-tier brand skincare products. Later on, she purchased our Atomy cleansing skincare set and the 6-step glow water treatment. At that time, she called me to ask if I had any information on the correct usage methods. So I explained to her how to start using them. About a week later, he said that after using Atomy's products, he found their effects to be better than those of the high-end brands he had used before. He mentioned that the skincare products from those big brands cost almost several thousand, or even over $10,000. But the price of Atomy's products is surprisingly low. A 6-piece set that includes essence, toner, eye cream, and more is only around 1500 HKD, and a 4-piece cleansing and skincare set costs just over 200 HKD. They say that the quality of Atomy's products is really excellent and offers great value, so I will use Atomy's products from now on. In fact, many Atomy products can be considered classics. Each one offers exceptional value for money, allowing consumers to purchase high-quality products for less. In addition to our own brand, we also have the GSGS strategy for global procurement and marketing. Atomy has entered over 20 countries and regions around the world. The subsidiaries in these countries and regions are not only responsible for product sales and market operations, but also for sourcing high-quality products locally to place on Atomy's distribution hub. Additionally, they will incorporate some of Atomy's advanced technologies into these products. By enhancing the already high-quality products and ensuring that their prices have a competitive advantage in the market, this will attract numerous consumers from member countries to shop at Atomy, the distribution hub. As the number of consumers increases, it will attract more businesses to place their excellent products on the Atomy platform. This will lead to a richer variety of products, which are both high quality and low priced, thereby attracting even more consumers. This creates a positive cycle, forming a consumer-centered ecosystem around Atomy. Here, I will give a few examples, such as in South Korea. Atomy's Hongshin manufacturing offers bird's nest from Malaysia and curry essential oils from France, along with stone fruit jelly made from Turkish oil and Arabica coffee sourced from Brazil and Colombia. Additionally, our apple chips and other products from China are designed or produced using raw materials provided by different member countries and then sold to these 20 or so member countries. This creates an ecosystem, a new system. No matter how fierce the competition outside is, the more than 20 member countries can coexist peacefully and share profits. Atomy operates on this logic, creating a large ecosystem centered around Atomy. This ecosystem will continue to expand, currently covering over 20 countries and regions, and in the future, it will include more than 30, 40, 50, or even more countries and regions. These member countries form a community of profit sharing, allowing them to collectively enjoy the results of their cooperation. Some friends might say that there are actually similar hubs in other places, but what are the differences between Atomy and other hubs? Because there are many other hubs, even if they have similar models. However, members may not necessarily spend at these hubs. If members do not spend at these hubs, then these hubs become meaningless. Of course, Atomy is different from other hubs. One of Atomy's key focuses is its product strategy of mass premium products, which emphasizes our excellent quality at incredibly affordable prices. With absolute quality and absolute pricing for mass premium products, this product strategy has created a protective barrier within Atomy's large ecosystem, allowing members to enjoy high quality at low prices. Why is this the case? Because they voluntarily continue to consume and repurchase at Atomy. So, does the high customer repurchase rate of Atomy products allow this system to be maintained and continue to grow? Regardless of how fierce the competition is among external products, the large ecosystem centered around Atomy can stand strong on its own. What about all the member countries and consumers? It is about sharing profits and being able to develop efficiently, quickly, and steadily. Sigh, what does such a good distribution hub have to do with us as consumers? How can we share profits with Atomy? It's actually very simple. We just need to register for free to become an Atomy member, and then switch the daily necessities, skincare products, and health foods at home to Atomy's brand. When we become avid users of Atomy products, we can't help but share them with those around us, and they also switch to Atomy products. So, when we share Atomy's products or the Atomy business, our identity shifts from being end consumers to becoming pivotal figures. When our friend shares Atomy's products and this business opportunity, they also transition from being end consumers to becoming key players. So, I feel that with Atomy at the center, the wealth gained from the entire business is significant. Why? Atomy is a great business, and you can connect through this super link to the business. Make your Atomy business spread across the globe, and the most important thing is that operating this global distribution hub is a zero-cost, zero-risk company that will also provide free training for a successful system to help us run the business, ensuring that there will absolutely be no issues with not knowing how to do it. As long as you maintain a humble learning attitude and closely follow the successful system of the company and the team, your hard work in managing will definitely lead to success one day. The current pandemic is changing the way we live and work, and it is also driving societal transformation. What will society look like in the post-pandemic era? No one knows for sure, but having a long-term and stable passive income beyond just a job has become particularly important. Atomy, a company aiming to build a century-old enterprise, is relevant for those of you who want to start a business, those looking for a part-time side job, or those who want to increase their income. It is indeed a very good choice, as Atomy truly represents a business that aligns with today's era, capable of providing us with a secure source of passive income. It is also a benevolent endeavor that helps others help themselves. Finally, I welcome all friends who love using Atomy products to consider changing their identity, becoming one of the hubs within Atomy to realize our own dreams. My sharing ends here. Thank you all.